Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And I have been podcasting 3 years, and the name is New Beginning Inspiration for You. And today's guest is really going to inspire you. He has true inspirational story. He will tell you, I'm not going to go into details of that because he will be the best person to tell his own story. But someone who had 3 heart attack and who was near to death 2 times, yeah, and he is alive and kicking and basically doing great and inspiring and motivating clients all over the world. He is the best person to tell you about that. So, without further delay, let me invite Dale. Dale, stage is all yours. You are welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You. Take it away.
Thank you. It's my honor. Um, yeah, I think that uh, in my structure, I believe that things happen for a reason. I believe that the heart attacks, being shocked back to life a few times, um, happened, and the reason that I attached to it, because there has to be a reason, um, is to give me a unique perspective to people who are dealing with death in whatever way they're doing it. The first thing that occurred to me after I yelled "ow" because it hurts when they're shocking your chest, but the next thing that occurred to me was, oh, that's interesting. They kept me around because there's more for me to do. Um, I had always planned
Huh.
that I would die when
Why?
I turned
Why?
62.
Did somebody tell you
The
or?
only reason for that was, yeah, no, that's a good question. My dad had died of a massive heart attack when he was 62. And I'm very much like my dad in the way we look, the way we act, the way we everything. So it wasn't, it wasn't a conscious thought process. It was just, well, okay, I, we're alike. I'll be turning 60 here shortly, so I should just plan for this. And interestingly enough, I did die when I was 62. The only difference is that they brought me back, and so I get to continue on. Um, I One of the things that I got from the experience was certainly urgency. If the universe is keeping me here, past 62, past dying necessarily, um, then there must be a reason why they would do that. And I kind of get to say what the reason is, so I do. And but I'm also clear that it's no longer okay to be casual about impacting other people's lives, um, um, relaying the wisdom and inspiration that I've picked up over the last almost 70 years. Um, so so I'm now obligated to expand my reach. That's part of me going on podcasts and being interviewed, but also um, be less patient with my clients and allowing them to just casually move through spaces. Um, and it probably has made me become more direct. Uh, I won't say less patient. I'm patient, but I also bring to every interaction a sense of urgency, like, okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, nope, yeah. You're a human being. Stop doing human stuff and choose something higher. And that's a typical
You're
way that I
patient with them,
sound,
but you are
when
impatient
I'm
with
on the
yourself.
phone or on a Zoom with a completely impatient with myself. I've got no tolerance whatsoever for anything but right now. Um, and sometimes I suck at that, but that's okay. I too dabble in my humanity. Um, but I have to do that because I won't I won't ask a client to do
You are not
something that I
hypocrite.
haven't already done,
You are not a hypocrite.
including
You are
die for
not a
that matter.
hypocrite.
Right? Yeah. So I take on being human every once in a while, and most of the time I strive to be something more, and certainly be the example of something more. When I go to ask them to accomplish anything, I have to
Yeah,
have walked there first.
many times when we talk about death, it may not be the death of body, it might be the death of your ego. Yeah, so your ego dies, and then basically it is like a rebirth for you,
Yeah.
and now you can serve people better, right? Because I remember I was bedridden, and when I
Yes.
received my bonus life, I always considered that as a bonus life, and then I wanted to just devote it for solopreneurs for their success, because I thought it is my bonus life, so I should do something worthy. Worthy means
Yeah.
basically because no, if I really, whenever I go, no, I have something to show for when I face God. God should say, "Hey, good,
Sure.
faithful servant." So that is what I'm looking for. So I can relate to your story so
Yes.
much, really so much. And yeah, I was looking at your profile, and you mentioned about the
Right.
neuroplasticity. And I have been studying this field for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, from the time when I was bedridden, every morning I woke up and saw the movie The Secret. And John Ashraf, actually, he talks a lot about neuroplasticity. Now I'm into his
Yes.
inner community because I'm his biggest advocate. So you tell
Yep.
me, my audience would like to know how neuroplasticity works.
Yeah. I came across that years ago, and latched on to the concept that our brains, the physical brain itself, remains elastic literally until the day we stop breathing, um, which to me means that we are not condemned to any behavior, any thought process, any reaction, any emotion, quite frankly, anything. And I developed some tools that follow in line with that to interrupt the flow of things and create new realities. Um, and I don't know if that's the basis. I think making up meaning is probably the rock solid basis of my practice. But neuroplasticity plays a huge role into it, because if a client is willing, and the client listens to what I tell them, which doesn't always happen, um, then they really can quite rapidly retrain their brain for anything. If it's a success mindset that they don't currently possess, great. Let's invent that and create it. If it's just a behavior that they wish to modify that they seem to be addicted to, or highly repetitive, great. Let's go to work on that. All of those things are possible because we designed our brains to work the way they currently work. We can redesign our brains to work any new way we want them to work. And I don't think that that's a common knowledge. You can talk to people and they will comment, oh yeah, no, I know that I can change my behaviors. But I don't know that there's an in-depth knowledge that no, you did this to yourself in the first place. You can undo it. And I think that's the takeaway I get with
No more
neuroplasticity
excuses.
and the
Okay, so now if
implementation of that with
anyone
human
wants to
beings.
create any change in their life, they have the authority. They can do it. No more
Right?
excuses, even at any age, right? So,
Right.
what is the range if someone diligently wants to create any change? What is the range have you seen when they can create that change in their life?
Yeah. Um, it's a wide span. Uh, I've watched people just today on a call with a client. They had the epiphany of their life, and I've been working with them for about 2 years. And then I have a client who continues to have epiphanies of their life every third time we talk on the phone, and that person's been working with me for 13 years. So, so I've also had people who, in conversation, just hear something that sparks, and and it can be instantaneous. I think that's the thing that keeps me coming back is to watch that happen. Um, but it also has trained me that the only thing between an instant transformation and one that takes 13 years is the baggage that the individual has built up in front of themselves. It's Michelangelo was once asked about the statue David. Here you had this huge block of stone. How did you see David inside there? And the comment came back, well, David was already there. I just took away everything that wasn't David. And I think that
Absolutely
that's
right.
my job, is to keep chipping away at the chunks of human beings that don't belong, that they don't want, that don't serve them anymore, you know, and
That's
release
a great
something
analogy because
beautiful and
there is God
exactly what they're
inside
looking for.
everybody, but it's really deep hidden because of whatever reason. Yeah, because of baggage, as you said, because of past karma. And sometimes people don't let go of that. And that's why
Yep.
you need a mentor so that who can guide you and who can tell you, hey, it is okay. It is okay. And I really liked what you said, being human, because many times I have seen working with entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, they want to be perfect. And as far as you are living, breathing as a human being, you are not going to be perfect. You are going to be human. So accept yourself the way you are. Be kind to yourself. Be
Yep.
your own friend, and as far as you are better today than yesterday, you are on the right path, right? Means, and one of my friends says that the moment you become perfect, God will call you. So, just why are you going for perfection? Just go for excellence, and excellence will come with, yeah. No, you were saying something.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. When we're perfect, we cease to exist as humanity. So
So,
if that's your goal, that's easy. But I also think that um, that people, we occupy a human form. We're on this planet as a human form. Why would we not celebrate our humanity, especially whenever we are acting human? So, you know, we're petulant someday. Great, just wallow in your petulance. You're miserable one day. Great, wallow in your misery. That's a human thing to be. And just be aware, just be conscious that that's what you're choosing in this moment. And if you choose it, great. That's powerful. If you let it choose you, then that's a different case altogether. I want to bring people to the point where they're conscious to the choices that they've made,
and being
whether they
human is
think
not
it's a
less.
choice or
There
not.
are so many species here. so many trillions of species, and out of that, this is the best one, best life, best species. So it is not less at all. I think it is a really something to celebrate, as you say.
It's not.
Totally, yeah, totally agree with you. So now you are
Absolutely.
saying about being human. Know how this human being can be effective. What tips you can give to be really, really effective one?
I think the first thing that I hand to clients is that, and kind of to roll
Take
back,
responsibility.
you made yourself the way you are right now.
Uh-huh.
You can make yourself right, and you've practiced, this behavior you came to me to change. You've been practicing that since you were 3 years old, so you're good at it. It's going to take a second to get out from under it, but you can do the same thing you did, except do it consciously now, and move through a space very quickly. And then the second thing I want them to see right away is that they're making all of this up. It's not real. It's not happening to them. Circumstance don't drive the day. Their interpretation of circumstance is what drives. So if they choose to interpret everything that comes their way in a powerful, empowering manner, then they will
Great.
be more effective instantly. Just if they take away the meaning, well, this happened to me, so I've got to be upset, angry, depressed, sad, whatever. Well, this thing happened. Okay, great. So that happened. That's in isolation. Now I'm going to do with it whatever I choose to do with it. And I just suggest, because it is a choice on their part, that they always choose to make up a meaning that empowers them. That's it. It's that
So
easy.
you create your
They don't,
reality,
but
you
it is
create
that
your
easy.
circumstances. Everything is in your own hands, right? Yeah. So why do people keep
Exactly.
on repeat the habits? Means I really feel many times, human beings are like machines. You know, so how the machine they have you say computer, there is a CPU, and whatever the CPU is programmed keeps on
Right.
working like that. And we upgrade our machines, we upgrade our computer,
Yep.
we upgrade our cell phone, we upgrade our laptop, we upgrade everything. But what about our machine? What about our behaviors? What about our own brain? How can we upgrade that?
I think the first thing to notice is that all those other devices you named were programmed by someone else. Our machine was programmed by us. We already know how to program us. So is all we've got to do is, first of all, realize that, know that, which gives us an access to, okay, I'm going to write new software now. And my new software has this outcome in mind, or this outcome in mind. And maybe with help, maybe without help, I can map a pathway to get from where I am today to that new program. So all I've got to do is map out those steps, put them in space and time, and then do those things, take those actions. There's a lot of belief out in the world, and I bump into this a lot with clients, that if they have a positive thought, or they, vis-a-vis the source, if they create an affirmation around something, it shall happen. The piece that gets missed a lot with human beings, probably because it takes a little bit of work, is that it is insufficient to just create the affirmation. The affirmation is there to refocus your mind, to focus your brain on a specific outcome, whatever the outcome of your affirmation is. And that gives you a framework in which to take actions, not the other way around. So every call I have with a client goes through, okay, great, we're dealing with this, we're taking on this, we're changing this, here's the tools to do that. Now, what are the actions very specifically you are going to take over the next 7 days for this intended outcome? I don't care about everything we talked about before. That was just warm up to get us to here. Now, what are the actions
Yeah,
you're going to
action
take?
is
Without
the most
the
important
actions,
thing.
we
Otherwise,
just wasted your
theory
time.
without application, theory without implementation, yeah, it is just theory. Then you are not going to see the change what you're looking forward to do. Yeah, absolutely right. So,
Nope,
what about
nope.
this mindfulness? Means we are talking about individual mindfulness, but how it can be applicable in full workplace? Because when you are working, you are not working with saints. So, how it is applicable for a full
Right.
workplace?
Um, Mindfulness, when I broke it down and was playing with it for myself, um, it is impossible to experience some of the more negative emotions and behaviors if all we're doing is being present. So anger is based on something that happened already or is going to happen. Depression based on something that already happened or is going to. All of those emotions that live in the lower vibrational level all exist based on time. So if we eliminate the time component, there's no room for that. If I am eating cereal in the morning and I am mindfully eating my cereal, there's nothing but eating my cereal. If I'm at my desk working and I'm mindfully working without distractions to, oh, I need to get this done by X or whatever, I'm doing what's in front of me at this exact moment. And I'm completely focused on the present moment, doing the present thing. There's no room for any of that other stuff. If we can train ourselves to truly move through life only in a mindful fashion, then we never have to worry about suffering from sadness, anger, depression, any of the negative emotions. We only would experience bliss, kindness, generosity, gratitude, all of the higher vibrational emotions, because those are not time
This is
based.
the main key
Those
to
can
the
be generated
success,
in the moment.
main key to living your life. Because people are either living in the past or future. And if they are living in the past, then they are generally living with regrets. And if they are living in future, then they are living with worry, and then they are not experience the present moment.
Yeah,
And why it is
absolutely.
called
That's where
present
fear
moment?
comes.
Because it is the best moment. That's why it is a present, that's why it is a gift. You have to experience that, and you are on this earth to experience this earth, this life. But if you just keep on living in your past, and if you keep on worrying about future, you are missing the most important piece of your life. Yeah, this is.
We we came here for a purpose. Now, I don't think that the purpose was handed to us. I think we invent our own purpose. But if we came here for that purpose, and and the human experience is more the illusion rather than the reality, then time, which is a human creation, doesn't actually exist. Why would we spend so much of our time playing with time if it's irrelevant and unimportant? They talk about the Big Bang and before the Big Bang, whether or not that's still the the concept, but before the Big Bang, science tells us there was no space or time. Okay, so time got created at some point, and we just fell into that and decided to move forward as a species, living in our location in time. We don't have to do that. It doesn't provide us anything of value. So I encourage everyone, especially my clients,
I
to
really
live
like what
now
you said.
because that's all we
Everybody
ever
has a
have anyway.
different purpose, and this is so important because people always compare. And how can you compare? Because goal for my life might be different from your goal, and as far as I'm going towards my goal, I'm fine.
Right?
And means I'm living my life. I'm not living your life. So why should I
Right.
compare myself with you? I remember we had
Nope.
reunion with my college mates like after 25 years, and then one college mate started comparing, oh, these two people were very
Mm-hmm.
studious, what they achieved in their life, and these people were not studious and what they achieved. I say, who cares? It doesn't matter because everybody, I mean, every soul has its own
Doesn't.
journey. Yeah, means basically, even I really don't worry even about my kids' future because I really feel okay. After 21, they are adult, they are on their own path, it's their own journey. I'm not going to control unless and until they come and ask me
Yeah.
for any
Yeah.
advice. I'm not even going to go and give them advice because it's their own journey, their path. As far as they are happy with their journey, I'm not going to interfere. So, and yeah, I wanted to ask
Right.
you one thing. Nowadays
Right.
everybody wants a tool. No, we are talking about creating this major change in your life.
Yes.
It's really for good. So, do you have any tool? Does somebody come and
Yep.
ask you? Okay, you talk so many good things.
Yes.
Yeah, then I understand somehow means basically I appreciate, but I want a tool. Do you have any tool that can help them? Okay,
I do. Um,
okay.
this one circles all the way back to neuroplasticity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a three-stage tool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it starts with physical contact. So I have my clients, if there's a behavior they wish to modify, whatever it is. So we want to retrain their brain using neuroplasticity and repetitiveness because that's how we get there. So the very first step is to touch their wrist. It can be any physical thing, but I give them touch their wrist because otherwise we'll spend all day trying to figure out what physical thing for them to do. So touch the wrist. As soon as they've done that, they've interrupted the brain process, the natural flow of whatever they were going to do. So touch their wrist. Immediately after they've interrupted that, then take 3 deep cleansing breaths, typical yoga breaths, and not necessarily with intention, but it can be to exhale whatever was going on in their space before. They've already interrupted the process. So now cleansing breaths. And at the end of the third breath, create the new behavior, outlook, emotion, whatever it is, even an affirmation if that's where you want to go. But in that process, notice what you're doing. So the original behavior you wish to change, touch your wrist, take 3 deep breaths, and then create in that space, create a new behavior. So that's my favorite tool. You can use it for all sorts of things, and you don't even have to know anything for it to be effective. You
Yeah,
just
that's
have to
really
do it
amazing.
10,000 times.
I never
That's it.
expected it to be so simple. And I'm pretty sure it is so simple. And that's why people may think, oh, it is so simple, so it must not be that great. But I know simple solutions are really, really effective. If you apply them to your life, they are going to be
Yeah.
really, really effective. So now, what would you provide someone seeking to
Yep.
produce precise solution? If they want any really, really precise solution, what would you suggest? What would you provide someone seeking to
Say it
produce a
again. I'm sorry.
precise change or precise solution in their life?
Yep. Um, I think the first step of any change like that is to understand what it is the ultimate outcome is. Um, so if it's to accomplish a certain level of what their definition of success is, great, define that. make sure you understand all the parameters of it, and that's step one. Step two is just put it in a calendar. Um, if we're using the success as the example, and you can define success as being, achieving a certain role in your business, or a certain number of clientele, or income structures, relationships, whatever it is. You establish that, you understand the parameters of what it takes to get that, and then you pick a date. I don't care if the date is tomorrow or if the date is 10 years from now. You pick a date, and then you put it in your calendar, and you physically put it in your calendar. Then is all you do is you go out to that spot in your calendar 5 years from now, and you plan the day before 5 years, and you go, okay, here's what I will have to have accomplished for this to work in 5 years. And then the day before that, and then the day before that, and the day before that. And you plan backwards like that, Merlin principle. And you plan back to today, so that you literally have the roadmap now in front of you, that if I look up a phone number today, I will accomplish this level of success that I'm looking for in 5 years.
Actually,
Because all I've got to do is look up a phone
don't
number.
you think if someone puts it 5 year, 10 year, it might be too much of a gap? And yeah, I know they're putting in calendar, so they should be accountable to your calendar, I mean, with their own calendar. But uh, shouldn't they? The time period should be closer than the 5 or 10 years, and earlier is better, right?
I Yep, I hear what you're saying. I encourage people. One of the very first steps with any client that I work with is to create their 5 year picture. So they go out there and they design for me a picture of what their day looks like in 5 years, given all the things they're out to accomplish. Now, then we map out the steps it takes to get there, because I want them to see that really making a phone call tomorrow will result in you achieving that goal. Now, on the one hand, having someone who is your accountability partner to get you there will keep you on track. Secondly, every time they set a 5 year goal, we get there in 2. Once they're focused on the outcome, the span of time reduces dramatically, because they realize, oh, not only could I make the phone call, but I could also look up the next thing and do 3 days worth of stuff in the next 5 minutes. So whether they realize they're doing that or not, they cut the time way down. And along the way in the coaching, they learn that there is no time limitation. Time's fictional. So when they start to see that after they've set this pathway in mind, then what they learn very quickly is that, oh, I could have that now. There's no reason not to have that now.
That's
I just have
really,
to say so.
yeah, that's a really great plan. Yeah.
So
Now I
so yeah,
understand. Yeah, now I understand what you mean. So we talked about
yeah,
neuroplasticity, we talked about mindfulness, we talked even about death. Now I want to know, what is the meaning of life?
yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's got to be the most common question I get asked. And I have an answer for you. Everybody's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, what's the meaning of life?" So,
Oh,
you ready?
oh,
There is no meaning.
huh.
There's no meaning. Life has no meaning. Life is something that happens. And I have my own theories about how we get here and choices we make when we're in our other dimension or whatever it is. But life has no meaning until you make one up. And that's where meaning for life comes from. So if you're looking for what your inherent meaning is, you will be looking for a long time. If you create what your meaning is, and you create it without reason, then that is your meaning, and that is what your life is for. So
Oh,
go
that's
do
really
that
amazing. That's really
and quit looking.
amazing. Means basically now you no longer have victim mentality. Yeah, you can create your own life. And I was looking at your
Right?
website and I saw the best thing I have ever looked for it,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the happiness book. Tell me, because everybody wants a key to happiness. So you
Oh,
have happiness book. So tell me about that.
don't they? Yes. Um, it
Huh.
unfortunately, it has been a project of mine for a while. Um, things have gotten in the way, and I've let them. But it should be. It's being edited right now in the final edit, and it should be published this quarter. Um, and of course, I'll have it on my website and everywhere else I can possibly have it. But it is the title of the book is Practical Happiness, because I think happiness is a practical exercise. Um, and then what is my subtext? It's like the the technology of creating joy, because happiness, joy, all of those emotions are of our own creation. So the book is merely a roadmap to how to get from anywhere to happy. And I think it's pretty timely right now. Happiness
Yeah, I
seems to
think
be a bit more
everybody needs
elusive
that.
today
And
than it was
I
months
read
ago.
somewhere that, every action you are taking for happiness. Even people who are going and killing people, other people, just because they are thinking, okay, they are creating happiness for themselves. But means ultimate goal means you might be thinking there might be looking for material possession or they're looking for power and all. No, the ultimate goal for everyone is happiness. So I think, yeah, once your book is published, I think everybody wants that
It
because
always is.
that's the real key for life, the happiness. Yeah. So yourself, oh,
I hope so. Yeah, I'm not. I just think it's information I want to put out to the world. It's something that came out of my death experience. Was like, oh, nope, nope, you need to put this down. So even if you're not
so are
here,
you
it is. So
self-publishing it or
that's where that came from.
how? Because I wrote three books and I'm also right now I'm just giving my manuscript for people to review. I haven't actually started the publishing process yet. So
Yep.
how are you publishing? Self-publishing or you're going for any known publisher?
At, at the current time, I'm positioning myself to self-publish. Uh, I I ultimately think that for the sake of numbers, that having a publisher associated with it helps with the credibility side and probably marketing, more exposure, et cetera, et cetera. So I am certainly not opposed to a publisher. Uh, it's it's
Hmm.
it's urgent for me to get it out, and then once it's out, if a publisher wants to pick it up and play with it and do some things, as long as they don't mess with the technology, then fine. I'm waiting for Random House to call. They haven't
Thank
yet,
you. Thank you.
but
Actually,
it could
I
happen
asked,
tomorrow.
I think, almost every question I wanted to ask, but if I missed out on any particular point, and if you want to give any parting message, and if you tell who is your ideal
Hmm.
client and how they can contact you, feel free to add whatever you want to add here.
Sure. Um, my ideal client is any human being for whom there is a disparity. Something isn't working as well as they would like it to, or everything's working great, but they think there must be more. Um, People who are working with habits they'd rather not have, relationships they don't have that they'd like to, or relationships they do have that they don't want. Really, human beings. Um, and the easiest way to reach me is go to my website, dalekershner.com. And then there's a Calendly sign up there for a 30-minute free coaching call. Anybody on the planet, if they want
I'm
a free
going to go
coaching
and
call,
I'm going
it's
to go
theirs
and
to
set
have.
one call.
They
Yeah.
can decide at the end. Right? Yeah. Um, I'm halfway concerned that putting that out in the world will result in more than I can manage, but that's okay. I'll figure out how to manage it. Um, I think I, part of my still being alive is that I have a message and I want to get it out as widely and as broadly as I possibly can. You and I are talking for that reason today. The website exists for that reason. The book exists for that reason. The free coaching call exists for that reason. The more human beings I can touch and the more I can supply this knowledge to, um, the more I'm fulfilling on my purpose for being in this body at this moment in time.
Yeah, thanks a
So
lot.
let's see,
Thanks a
did I
lot.
answer everything? Yep.
You really gave the meaning to my new beginning inspiration for you podcast, because you really inspired me, and I'm pretty sure you are going to inspire my family, my audience, my community,
Awesome.
and yeah, whole world, because hey, we share these episodes to our thousands of
Yeah.
subscribers, and even in social media and various things, means my VA all great things, and we make sure that yeah, whoever comes as a guest, they get the maximum visibility, and hey, you deserve it because you are doing such a great job, and I really thank you for all your work, and looking forward to yeah connecting with our 30-minute call. Yeah, sure, I'm pretty sure you can guide me in my life in many of my areas. Thank you, thanks a lot. Keep up the good.
It is completely my honor.
No,
I'm
thanks.
so
Thanks for you
grateful that
being
you
over here.
provide me the
Thank you.
opportunity to be able to
You
do
added a
this.
great value here.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join and explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.